When I was 28 years old, my mother passed away. My younger sister and I suddenly found ourselves responsible for something neither of us had planned for, her home. I was the executor of the estate, and like many families, we weren't ready to let go. So we kept her house for about 4 years. We paid the bills, we handled the maintenance, we tried to preserve what that home represented for our family. But eventually, it became clear that keeping the house was no longer sustainable. The payments, the upkeep, the responsibility, it was simply too much. And that's when we had to make one of the hardest decisions many families have to make: selling a home after the loss of a loved one. Today, I want to share what I learned from that experience and what I've learned helping clients navigate similar situations, and a few things every family should know before making decisions about selling a loved one's home. Hey family, it's your girl Monife, your Detroit real estate advisor and neighborhood storyteller. Today's topic is deeply personal because it isn't just something I've helped clients through. It's something that I've lived through. And if you're currently facing this situation, my hope is that this video helps bring a little clarity during what can often feel like a very, very overwhelming time. This isn't legal advice and it's not financial advice, but it is practical guidance from someone who understands both the personal and the real estate side of this journey. One of the things that people don't talk about enough is that when a loved one passes away, the house often becomes much more than a house. It's memories, it's family, it's traditions, it's holidays, birthdays. It's a place where life happens. And that can make decisions incredibly difficult. One family member may see a financial responsibility. Another may see a childhood home. Another may simply not be emotionally ready to let go. And all of those feelings are valid. For our family, keeping the home for a period of time felt right. It gave us time. It gave us space. It allowed us to process what had happened. But eventually, we had to evaluate the situation honestly. And it's something that many families face. One of the biggest misconceptions people have is that the first step is selling the house. Most of the time, that isn't the first step. The first step is understanding your situation. Before making any major decisions, focus on gathering information. Understand who owns the property, whether probate is involved, what debts may exist, what expenses are continuing, and what options are available. If the loss is recent, here's what I would encourage families to focus on during the first month. Secure the property, locate important documents, review your insurance coverage, understand utility responsibilities, and begin organizing estate paperwork. And start conversations with professionals who you need to be involved. This goal isn't speed. The goal is clarity. Let's talk about 5 common mistakes I see families make. First is making decisions too quickly. Grief can create pressure to just get it done, but major decisions deserve thoughtful consideration. The second is assuming that the house must be sold immediately. Every situation is different. Sometimes selling right away makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Next, making expensive repairs before understanding the market. Not every repair creates value. Not every improvement is necessary. Another mistake I see is poor communication amongst family members. Many conflicts begin because expectations were never openly discussed. Lastly, trying to navigate everything alone. There's nothing wrong with asking for guidance. Another fact worth mentioning is that many homes here in Detroit need work. Many inherited homes have older roofs, aging mechanicals, deferred maintenance, and years of accumulated belongings. Families often ask me, do we need to fix everything up before selling? The answer is usually no. Every property is different, every market is different, every family goals are different. This is where strategy matters. Sometimes repairs make sense. Sometimes selling as is makes sense. The important thing is to understand your options before spending money. Also, no family should feel like they have to navigate this process alone. Depending on your circumstances, your team may include an attorney, a CPA, a financial advisor, trusted family members, contractors, and a real estate professional. The goal isn't simply to sell. The goal is to make informed decisions that serve the family well. And this is where real estate and legacy really connect, because a home is rarely just a piece of property. It's often a part of the family story. For my family, there came a point when selling the home was the right decision. Keeping it for a period of time was the right decision. Selling it later was also the right decision. Those things can both be true. And I think that's important for families to hear. Selling a loved one's home doesn't erase the memories. It doesn't erase the legacy. Sometimes it simply represents the next chapter. Because so many families face these challenges, I've created a guide that walks through many of these first steps and considerations. I've also developed a virtual seminar where we'll go even deeper into topics like probate, repairs, decision making, preparing a property for sale, and building the right professional team. If that's something that would be helpful to you or someone you know, I'll make sure the information is available below. If you're currently navigating this situation, I want to leave you with this. You don't have to have all the answers today. You don't have to make every decision today. And you don't have to navigate it alone. Take your time, gather information, ask questions, and make decisions that honor both your loved one and your family's future. Because ownership builds legacy, and that every family deserves support when navigating that legacy. If this video could help someone you know, please share it with them. And if you're navigating an inherited property or thinking about selling a home after the loss of a loved one in Detroit or Metro Detroit, I'd be honored to help guide you. I'm Monife with the MK Realty Group, and this is In Detroit with MK. See you in the next one.